This keeps getting crazier for the San Diego Padres. The 2025 season has seen some highs, some lows, and now, despite the Padres being in first place, I don't think we appreciate quite how good this squad is. What's going on, everyone? Christian Pedersen back with another episode of Padres Digest. Thank you very much for tuning into the show. Appreciate all the comments you want to drop as we go along the way. This is an open forum for all things San Diego Padres fans, and if you want to hit the subscribe button, it would be much appreciated. If not, no worries. Let's talk some San Diego Padres baseball. Setting the table right here. Padres, as of us recording this, are heading into a 3-game series against the Dodgers. We got a whole series preview that you can go check out. That's why I say hit subscribe. There's a bunch of content coming daily. But the TLDR is that we are in first place for the first time this late in the season in a really long time. And that could be a big deal. That could not be a big deal. There is still enough time in the season that things can completely fall apart or can get historic or anything of a million permutations in between. But right now, heading into 3 games with the Dodgers, the Padres are in first place. And I think that rightfully so, that has a lot of people very excited and a lot of people espousing the Padres' praise and letting us know, hey, like X, Y, and Z are all having great year. And you can say it's the trade deadline people, and you can say it's there's a lot of different ways to approach what the Padres' success has been this year. But I wanted to bring up just kind of like looking at some stats and where they rank high and low on some stuff, and maybe scratch at something deeper here about how good this team really is. Follow me along here as we go through some of the numbers. We'll just start with a simple one. This one is wins. It is listed technically as a pitching stat. It is also just a team stat. But yeah, we are one of objectively the best and winningest teams in baseball. So that in and of itself, either as a team leading the NL West or a team who is a game or 2 behind, no matter what happens in the next couple of days, I still we are one of the 5 winningest teams in baseball, which is fantastic. And that is a great place to be. The pitching has had a large part to do with that in terms of the success. Here is the ERA leaders. This is for all of baseball, not just AL, NL. This is the Padres being the second best ERA in all of baseball, and that can get split up to both starters and relievers. Nick Pivetta, Michael King have had some fantastic years. Dylan Cease has had an okay year. There's been Randy Vasquez. There's been a whole litany of other people. Yu Darvish has come into the mix lately. The bullpen has been particularly lights out for large chunks, but also has surrendered a couple stinkers. So this is not a leaning one way or another, this is the bullpen really anchoring it or something. I feel like this is pretty evenly that just saying our pitching staff is fantastic. If you look at the saves, we do have the most saves now at this point in the season, which is a testament to close games, ? Which is a testament to clutch arms, ? I don't want to assign too specific and in-depth of a value to any one of these stats, because I'm trying to paint a broader picture here and just say hey, look, Padres are a top 10 team or a top 5 team or a top 1 team type thing in a couple of different categories across Major League Baseball. Because again, this is AL and NL teams. Enough with the pitching. Going over to the offensive side, this is team batting average. And to those of you that want to drop a comment and say, well, batting average isn't all it's cracked up to be. It's go with this metric. I need wins plus, runners in scoring position with 2 outs and only 31,000 fans in the stadium. And you can slice and dice things a million different ways. But going on just the generic batting average, home runs, stolen bases, RBIs, just kind of those base quantifiables, the Padres are actually a top 10 offense for batting average. And that is with a mixture of some hot streaks, some cold streaks, enough maybe at this point in the season that you can say baseball gonna baseball, and everything seems to have buoyed out. The 2 categories where the Padres are not absolutely just crushing it in terms of all of baseball are home runs and quality starts. And they are a bottom 8. They're 22nd or lower in both of those categories and have kind of stayed somewhere in that bottom 10 for the majority of the season. And the Padres not getting home runs, yeah, okay. That could be a struggle thing. That could be they just don't hit that kind of base. Like, they don't do that kind of offense anymore. Gone are the days of 5 or 6 dudes hitting 35 plus, and that just being kind of like, our lineup stacked. We got that. Like, maybe baseball itself is just leveling out in terms of overall home run grandiosity. Maybe not. Maybe you want to say that they're successful if they're in the top 15, top half. Well, you can all have different metrics for success, but like, we're not a successful power hitting team. I don't think, though, that is something that can handcuff a squad, and sure, I'm writing it off, but I'm also kind of like, the Joey Gallo effect. Apologies I'm getting animated here. I'm getting pumped up as I start breaking my studio equipment. But like the Joey Gallo effect of, you hit a bunch of home runs, but you also strike out at historic amounts. Like, I don't need home runs to validate the Padres being a successful offense. Obviously, we are winning games and we're in it. It's the lack of quality starts that I want to talk about. And seeing that despite the Padres not registering what counts as quality starts, and yet still coming up with first place in the NL West, this number right here for the ERA alone says volumes about how this team can adapt and overcome, and I think is not getting enough credit for how good they are. Don't need to do the ship of Theseus kind of like, is something itself if it's been fully rebuilt and replaced, but some of the issues of the quality starts have been are literally no longer Padres. It's no longer like, oh, that was Stephen Kolek, we sent him down, or that was Berger, or that was this, that, or that. Like, there's a couple of pieces that account for some of those lack of quality starts that have been dealt. Randy Vasquez, assume he will not be back into the minor. He will not be back. JP Sears is a new piece and accounts for a non-quality start, his one outing in the majors. So, like, some of that are pieces that are no longer with the team, but that's where I'm also kind of like, okay, so if Michael King is back, and if now we have to figure out what we have in Nestor, and if we have some new pieces at that starting rotation, and Darvish is back, and Darvish has not had universally great starts, but if Darvish, assume he is going to level out and stop producing bad starts, realistically, this is a Padres team that is, at this point, this good, and doing things like being 1 game up on the Dodgers, playing 8-2 baseball in their last 10, and doing it all while now on top of that having a hopefully massive step forward in the starting rotation. In that now Michael King is back for the full season, and Nestor Cortez, we don't know, but we can hope. Like, he seems like he's going to always give us a decent 4 2/3. Don't have to overdo what that is, but it's nice to have a lefty out there who has some major league experience that we can count on. So I'm looking at this like, this is kind of crazy that the Padres are this level good, while not really ever having their best foot forward on starting pitching at all, like all at one point this season. And yet right now we do. And we're headed to get into this Dodgers series, and quick one with the Giants, then back to the Dodgers. So we're going to ultimately see Shohei in that second round. We will see everybody in the starting rotation for the Dodgers. We want their best shot. We are going to give them our best shot. They are going to see all of our guys over the course of the 2 series. It's going to be a quick measuring stick, but I think it's going to be kind of interesting to go from where we were when we played the Dodgers the first time, which was just hanging on, just still trying to figure this out, having issues in left field, having issues at catcher, don't have all the pieces put back together. We got some guys on the IL. Now we got everybody back. Now we're rocking and rolling. Now we've got absolute fixes and not just temporary duct tape fixes at the question mark positions that we needed. And it would hypothetically seem that this team, despite how good it is on paper, can do a lot better. The series against the Dodgers is going to tell us a lot. Let me know how you think it's going to go. Let me know if you think that is this the best Padres team ever? ... question mark. Does that mean anything unless they win a World Series? ... question mark. I don't know. Hit me up. Let me know. And like I said at the beginning, if you could hit the subscribe button, it would be much appreciated. Though if not, no worries. We'll be here talking baseball all season long. Talk to you guys soon.